Welcome back to Afternoon Live. You may recognize our next guest from the TV drama series Eyewitness, and later this year you can catch him making the festival circuit alongside Macolm McDowell. We welcome actor and singer-songwriter James Paxton. Thanks for being with us, James.
Thank you so much, Hannah. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
You are busy. There's a lot going on. Let's start with the upcoming film, Last Train to Fortune. Tell me about working with Macolm McDowell, and this entire film is really star-studded.
It really is. You know, it was a real masterclass for me in acting, getting to work alongside the greats like Macolm McDowell and Bernadette Peters, Mary Steenburgen. I mean, most of this movie is Macolm and I on a horse, traveling, trying to make it to this small frontier town called Fortune. And he's an English school teacher that comes to the Old West, and I'm an outlaw that holds him up at the train station. And then he kind of convinces me to shepherd him the rest of his journey with my horse. And it's a special little film all about the importance of books and education and reading, and you know, how even the most stubborn of outlaws can still learn something from, you know, our older mentors, and like Malcolm's character is in this film to me.
How fun was it to step into that Western world with the costumes and the horses? It must have been such a blast.
Oh my gosh, it's a dream. I mean, you know, Western films as a genre really, it was really the birth of the cinematic epic. And so I think every actor dreams of getting to, you know, make a small, humble addition to the Western genre. So it's very thrilling. I can't wait for people to see it.
So has this been in development for quite some time? I was reading that this is super anticipated. People cannot wait to finally see this come onto a screen somewhere.
Yeah, it's had a long road. You know, the script was originally written in 1986 by Adam Rifkin, the director's mother, Michelle Rifkin. It won a PBS screenwriting competition back in the 80s, and Macolm and my father wanted to make this movie together in the early 90s with Lindsay Anderson directing. And Lindsay sadly passed away 6 months into development, and the film got shelved. But you know, things have a funny way of finding the right time to come to fruition, and it's really quite special because now my character's so much younger than my dad would have been playing it back then, and Macolm's so much older now, and it kind of, that age disparity works really well for this film.
It's super interesting, and how awesome that you get to step in for that role that could have been in your dad's hands. We should mention to our viewers, your dad is the iconic Bill Paxton. So I want to pivot to something else coming up very exciting. Twisters, the movie, is just about a month away from hitting theaters. I think it's going to be a big summer blockbuster. How are you feeling right now about that?
I'm feeling really great. You know, I'm really excited for them. You know, because this film will reintroduce a new generation to the original, and to Dad's iconic performance. And I just wish he was here to see it. I know he'd be cheering them on, and I think it's going to be a summer blockbuster, like you said.
I think so, for sure. The trailers look incredible. It's going to be the 2024 update. It looks super fun. Okay, we mentioned you have a lot going on. Tell me about the music projects you have coming up. You're doing some new solo stuff pretty soon here.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I made music with 2 different bands for a long time, and I've been kind of writing music on guitar for the past 7 years, and I've really never released any solo music before. And next month on July 12th, I'm releasing my first song. It's called Count on Me, and I've got a music video directed by Greg Gorman as well, and it has some really fun, special old family footage of my dad in Super 8 films that he made when he was a teenager that I've intercut into the film that nobody's ever seen before.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see it. I mean, your dad got to see you kind of at the beginning of your journey with all this stuff, and he was involved with music as well, right?
Yes, believe it or not, he was signed in the 80s to Sire Records under Warner Brothers. He had a band called Martini Ranch, and actually the only music video that James Cameron ever directed was for my dad's band, Martini Ranch.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
They have a special connection. I think everybody knows that for their film work together, but that's some really cool trivia right there.
It is. They certainly do. Yeah, I'm very excited. I think Dad would be thrilled. I mean, he always encouraged my creative pursuits. He just encouraged me to work as hard as I could at it, and you know, just respect the craft and strive to be the best I can be, and I'm trying to carry on the legacy. You know, I'm my own person, but it's I with a father as close as I was, you know, to my dad, and as iconic as he was, you know, I'm always happy to celebrate him and talk about him.
For sure, for sure. That's so wonderful. And I think people might recognize your voice here because you did some voiceover for the How I Met Your Father series on Hulu, which I think is kind of a surprise to a lot of people that we didn't know that was you behind the scenes.
That is a surprise because during the run of the show, it was a unique situation because the whole mystery was who the father is. So they didn't want people getting an idea of who the father could be if by knowing who voiced the son, who played Hilary Duff and Kim Cattrall's son. And I was doing the voice in every episode just off camera and working with Kim. But sadly, the show was canceled during the strike, so I'm at liberty to speak about it now. But it was such a dream job, and I love everybody on that project, Pamela Fryman especially, and Kim Cattrall. And it was a joy to work on that show for 30 episodes.
You've done a little bit of everything. I mean, voiceover stuff, the music, now getting into feature films. Do you have a favorite lane so far, or is it just fun to keep exploring and finding new ways to kind of use the art?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they all inform each other. You know, the music informs the acting and so forth. But I'm just looking for great stories to be able to champion and tell and be a part of. You know, I'm starting to produce as well, features, and you know, it's just it's you're always in a pursuit of different creative avenues. And I think you always, like my dad used to say, you always have to have a lot of irons in the fire, you know.
For sure. Hey, I'm really excited for this time in your career. You have a lot going on. We can't wait to see Last Train to Fortune and Twisters this summer. It's going to be super fun. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
I appreciate it, Hannah. Thank you so very much.
Of course, we'll have more information about James on our website at katu.com.